Hey, buddy. Hope y'all doing alright. Sorry, I got shit on my phone. So, I mean, it's the same. It's the principle of the matter. It's like what she's doing. What I think she's doing is I think she's coming at me like when I'm saying thanks for love and all these types of things. Like even me saying this is why I don't like what she's doing because it's fucking with confusion. And anytime you doing things that are adding more confusion into somebody else's life, whether you intended to or not, if what you're doing has that effect in their life, and there's things that you could do to help eliminate that confusion, you're choosing not to, that weighs heavily on your spirit and the person who's dealing with the confusion. It's also just fundamentally wrong to me to do what she's doing. And I, one of my issues is I can be too kind. I can be too generous and okay with allowing people to get away with shit. Uh, and and then I get lonely, and she comes at me when I'm lonely sometimes, and what she's doing is interacting with me, or whoever that is, they're interacting with me on the most intimate of levels. Like to me, like when you're going like sex is a sacred exchange of energy. To me, like that's how I look at sex. I don't lustfulness is there. I really don't want any more part of that in my life. I've had enough of it. I'm sick of it. I'm good. I don't want any more. Okay, making love, that's totally different. It's literally a completely different thing. Like it's not even like in the same category. Like that's how different they are energetically to me. Um, so if I'm gonna communicate or interact with somebody in that type of a way, that means that like that interaction, because it is of the most intimate and good and loving nature, my actions in regards to how I deal with that situation should be as loving and intimate and as sacred as possible so that I can line up as well as I can with that moment. So when people, go into the sacred, to the sex realm without following through or without supporting it with the proper principles and ethics that help support that type of a sacred moment, to me that's an injustice towards sacredness. That's an injustice towards love. That's an injustice towards the human interaction for both people, but especially if somebody is doing that to somebody else and they're doing it from the from the from a place where the other person doesn't know, like, because I don't know what her intention is. I don't know. Like, I share me and how I feel and what I'm doing all the time. I do not know what she's doing. I don't even know if she's alive. Like, so I have no clue why she's doing these things. I don't know if she's doing this and then making fun of me and she has a whole other life with somebody else. I have no fucking clue. I know it's in my heart, but other than that, so I got a little bit of a clue, but she's choosing not to let me see that. And that's an issue in itself because that's not being forthcoming. That's not being honest. That's to me not being, you know, truthful, like sharing the truth. Like she's choosing not to share her truth in this matter. And that in itself goes against the sacred act of sex to me. And I know that she's had a rough life. And so I don't want to enable anything that's going to make her life any harder. And me not putting my foot down on this, to me, is enabling bad behavior. So I'm putting my foot down on this issue. Like, if she continues to do this, I'm going to continue to move farther away from her. I've already talked about how this bothers me, the way that she blocks and then tries to do things from afar. I've talked about this over a year ago and how it's had psychological damage to me, and I think it truly has. Um, and I think that a part of this whole sexual thing that she's doing, I think that too is also having sexual or psychological damage as well. For me, and I think it's also bad for her. So, I that all like if she really cares about me and wants to really do this and is serious about developing or working on a relationship with me, to me, the logical step, the first step for any relationship is y'all need to communicate. If you guys can't talk with one another, then you guys have no business fucking around with each other in a sexual manner. To me, that's how I feel. If I can't have a good conversation with somebody, we shouldn't be sleeping together because that means we really don't have a good relatability. So then what we're doing here is just lustfulness, which is I'm trying to move away from that. That's a lot like being a drug addict. That's to me it's very similar. Just going off and getting your kicks, just fucking to get your kicks, like just to have sex, just to feel good and have sex. That's a lot like just getting high just to get high, to me. And I don't want that anymore. I really want to move as far away from I can from that type of existence as I can. So that's why I'm interested in people that want to be real, that want to connect on a heart level, and want to do, like, go into this relationship with a sense that we're going to help each other grow as well as we can, and that we're going to stop doing anything that isn't coming from love. And we're going to put an end and work towards moving away from actions and habits that we know aren't good for the good harmony of us both. She knows I don't feel good about her doing these things and blocking me, and yet she's continued to do these things. I don't even know what she doesn't want or does want from me, because she doesn't even let me see how she feels. So it's like it really makes it hard for me to even grow in this relationship, because I have no clue how she feels about shit. You know, it's just like I could go into it. If I really wanted to, I could break down what she's doing and how inefficient it is from so many different perspectives. It's like I don't even want to do that, man. I really just want to move forward in a good way, and I don't want to force people to change, because I think that's just real change. Like, if you really want to change, you're going to find that within yourself, and you're going to fucking make that moves to make that change. Trying to force people to do it, I think, is even kind of going against their will, which morally can be seen as, to me, is wrong. If you're trying to force somebody to do something they don't want to do, now if they're hurting others, that's where it gets different. But if it's just themselves, that's up for them to figure out. And a lot of times we try to push people when they don't want to be pushed. It can make things even worse. So that's why I'm not gonna like try to force her or to change, or anybody to change, because I think it can make things worse in a lot of times. And I think it's better to just be more humble about it and be an example. And if you have if you have the ability to create an opportunity that can help that change come about a little bit easier, maybe do that. And you know, if they feel like taking that opportunity, cool. If not, that's their choice too. But especially with me just losing my father, like I don't want to be with people like, and with the past history I've had with my friends, which she knows about, and how they've chosen to treat me. Like, her actions are very similar to the way that my former friends treated me, which to me felt like shit. So when she does things like this, it brings back the past with my former friends that I'm trying to get away from, and all that pain and misery, which is nothing. I don't have to be a part of that if I don't want to be, and I don't want to be anymore. But I do care about her, and I do feel like there's still a very strong potential for us to have something beautiful, but she's got to be willing to open up and talk to me. That's got to be the first step. Like, this whole sexual thing that she's doing, it, again, like, if she continues to do it while continuing to block me, I'm just going to move farther and farther away from her, because to me it feels like a manipulation. It feels like she's trying to just use her sexual abilities to lure me in. It's almost like I feel like I'm being trapped, or it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. And at the end of the day, I don't think any two people should be fucking around sexually if they can't even talk. And since we're not in a place where we can talk, we shouldn't be fucking around like that. So it's morally wrong what she's doing. So I got to put an end to it. But she's going to continue doing what she's doing. But I'm letting her know right through this video that I do not want her to continue doing that. I hope that she stops, and that if she does want to build something with me, then we need to just talk. And that's where I'm at. So, all right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.